Hey everyone, it's Larry here at LC Model Shipbuilding, and this episode we're going to continue working on our Clive Cussler's CSS Texas. It's going to end up being a three-part video. I got about halfway through what I've been filming and realized it was going to be too long, so I kind of abruptly cut it at the end, but we're getting there, and yeah, going into the holidays, so I'm not going to be doing quite as much model building during that time frame, but you know, once the holiday season is over, I'm going to get back on it full throttle and get back going on it. So anyway, this is part 2, and part 3 should be coming out fairly soon afterwards. Okay, so the movie version of the ship, the bow comes out. It's a lot more curved, I guess you'd say, than what we have here. So what I'm going to do is kind of freehand it, really, when it comes down to it. I want to make sure this is long enough. Now, it does kind of end at a point very similar here, but it's more kind of like this. So that's kind of how we're going to go. Come on. There we go. And to do this, to make sure I get it right, I think I'm going to just take a piece of paper, fold it in half, and make sure I get the same curve basically going, because I like that curve that I got there. I don't like that side as much. So let me make a pattern, and I'll get this cut out, and we'll be right back. Okay, so there we go. We got a little bit better of a bow shape. So what I'm going to do now is just trace it out, and then we'll cut it out. And I did go ahead and check how this kind of fits up on the hull, and I like it. So this will work. Now the deck also has the same type of ribbon going on here, so we got to do all of that as well as we're going. All right, so basically just cutting along here. Nothing too dramatic. Okay. And then I'll sand the edging and all that just to make sure that we're getting basically the shape that we want. But that then will go and sit like that. Now I do need to trim a little bit on the edge because it is overhanging. Looks like about 1/8 of an inch. Okay. Now I want that to kind of go in just a tiny bit more. Like that. Okay, that should do. Hopefully. And yes, that will work. All right, so now I'm just going to kind of stand up my edging here. Make sure that's just got a smooth look to it, so it doesn't look like plastic it was cut. And I'm not going to make that a perfect square there either. I want that kind of rounded as well. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, and then looking at the pictures of the ribbing, it's a lot more almost like a brick pattern that goes along here. So we're going to cut them out, toss that out, and get them going. So, gotta grab some more styrene strips quick, because we're gonna need them for this, and then we're gonna need styrene strips for the, it's not really a conning tower, but the tower that sits up here. So, let me grab some more of them to start cutting, and I'll be right back. Okay, and unfortunately, I ran out of my styrene strip, so I gotta stop at the store and pick up some tomorrow. But in the meantime, I got my 3D printed parts done, so we can start putting them on a while. So what we have here are our cannon doors. Now, these are not exactly what I want, but they will work for this build. For the big build, they're going to be more, basically, they were kind of like, I can't even think of the word, like pyramids on the doors. So, I'll use these for this one, but it is what it is. Then we got our vents here. They will be painted black. We have our doors, which one goes here, and I made 3 just in case. Got a propeller here. I did the lifeboat davits, and I don't think I'm going to use them. I think I'm actually going to just use some metal rod to make them. I just not exactly happy with them, so we'll see. Then we got our bollards here. So 4 go up front and 2 go out back. I have anchors here. I'm going to do some trimming on these because I'm not exactly happy with them, but they'll work for what I need. And then there's some cargo crates, which were here and here in the movie model that I saw anyway. So that's them. We're going to go ahead and start with the bollards. So I'm going to glue them on, and I didn't bake this that long in the heater, or whatever you want to call it, so they are pretty nice and malleable to coming off. I will use the resin gun, or not the resin gun, but the heat gun, heat knife, whatever you want to call it, if I need to, but I don't think I will. Just how I organized them, and not organized, but situated them on here, they should pretty easily come right off, so no biggie. But if you are buying 3D printed stuff, always use a heat knife. You get a much better result. Me, if I mess this up, I can just reprint it, so it is what it is. But yeah, we're gonna get these sorted and put on, and we'll do our front 4 first. And then they also have kind of like a little Hawkeye thing. I don't even know what you call it, but where'd they go? Right here that I printed, and they go right up here on the bow. So I got 2 of them printed. And I think they were more for like the anchor chain to go through, possibly. whatever. Let me take a look at the picture that I was using. So, oh, I typed in Virginia. I'm thinking Virginia. Sorry there. There we go. Well, we'll use that picture. That one will work good. Or that one. Okay, so our first set are gonna go right here because they look to be about in line with the front of the superstructure area. Now, when you're using 3D print, always need to use CA glue. Don't try to use model glue. It will not stick, and it will make a big mess for you and your parts. So CA does work. But they just fit in there perfect too, and that was kind of on accident. So we have one go there, and then our next one goes up here. Just want to make sure I put it kind of in the right spot. I'm actually going to put it back on this one. And that's okay, because I don't exactly like where I put that that divider piece, kind of being off to the complete middle there. So this will kind of help offset that look. There we go. The other two will go right on the other side, exactly in the same spot. So if you have been tuned into the channel watching either Titanic or the Smokey and the Bandit build, I will be back to them very soon. I do think I'll probably have this build done in this video. So like I said, this was just going to be a short little break away from the other two, and then we'll get right back into it. So Smokey and the Bandit I plan on having done in the next week or so, and hopefully back to Titanic in the next 2 weeks. That's the goal anyway. Okay, now these little eyes are going to go right here. Sorry, I had to put more glue down. This kit did not come with very many pieces. I mean, it's already going to be more detailed than it was ever intended to be, just by the additional stuff that we're adding. Had I kept it as the Virginia, I mean. Okay. I'm going to try to find me some Confederate gold coins that I could print out too for this. I think that would be kind of cool, at least for the bigger one. Maybe not in this particular build, but I think the bigger one would be neat. So I know my upper conning tower will start about here and go to about here, because I think it ends right before the ladder. I just want to double check. Yep, so it ends right around here. So right behind that then were the two air vents, and they're right behind the ladder, so I'm going to put them on a while. Now they get painted black, but I'm going to end up just brush painting them, I do believe, because they should be fine. Ooh, I don't know if I like how that printed. Gotta see if I can get that off without breaking it. It printed right on the front of the vent, basically. Yeah, we might come back to that. Okay, so next up, I think we're going to do our yeah, we can do our cannon doors. And these cannon doors were actually a real pain to find. I ended up kind of custom making them. And I'm putting that on top of the beam on purpose, because they were kind of raised up on the ship. So that way I kind of get that effect. Okay. The next one is on the corner here. So I don't know if it would be on the corner. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and put these all on. I'm going to come back, and I think I'm going to go ahead and make my styrene con tower, or I'll do the fencing. One of the two, but I'm going to put these on a while. Probably put the grates on, and then we'll come back and kind of show where we're at. Well, I guess we could do the anchor a while too before I pause. Let's do the anchor. So I've seen a couple different pictures. I broke that anchor. It's a good thing I printed too. This is why you use a hot knife, so you don't do stupid things like I do. Okay, well, it's coming out better. Oops. Okay, there we go. Yeah, now like I said, this one's kind of a weird anchor, so I'm going to modify it a little bit, and I'm going to kind of trim off the two edges. Actually, I'm going to trim them both off and then replace them, because that has kind of a weight on it or something like that, and I want the weight type look on it, but it only was on one side on the file that I found, so I'm gonna have to make a modified one. This is why I printed two anchors though, so I could do the modification. Sorry, I'm just trying to get that to stick a second. Okay, well, we'll use some accelerator. Maybe. There we go. Okay. And the anchor will end up getting painted black. Oh, I do owe Clive Cussler a apology, because when I posted the first video, my phone auto-corrected and made it culvert. So, apologize, Clive, if you, yeah. Alright, so there's that. I guess we'll put the doors on real quick. Okay. And my goal really is to pretty much paint all of this as much as possible in one shot, because the whole superstructure area will be gray. Yeah, I'm going to do the other vent here because I know what I'm going to do this time. I'm not going to try to cut off that front piece because that's more of a support. I'm just going to cut the inside there. I'm going to use the electric. Okay. These crates can come on here. They also will be a gray, so no reason I can't add them yet. They're going to come right here on one side, and same on the other. And we'll put our last door on, and I'll pause it. We'll come back and start putting the fencing on. That's what my plan looks like at this point. Okay. Ooh. They're a no-go where I put them. I'm glad I double checked. They need to be forward. So they got to be on the same one as the bollard. Looks like our tube of glue is just about gone. Okay. There we go. Okay, so I'm gonna pause it here. I think I gotta trim that just a little bit. Okay, so I'm gonna work on the conning tower thing, this piece here. So what I did was measured out 15 millimeters, got a straight edge going across, and now I'm just gonna measure my width here that I want this to be. And it's gonna come back, it's gonna come to here. I want it right up to the edge basically. So about there. So that's my width, and it'll be the same on front and back. So I'm going to mark that, and then I'm going to mark it again at the same width. So now I'm going to use that to mark my midpoint, or not my midpoint, but my what do you call it? Sorry, my spot there. So this is 9, which means I'm going to want it to be 4.5 for the upper part of the triangle. bit farther. So about there is midway. And the same for here. Okay. So now we're just going to mark our lines here. Okay. So we're going to cut them out, and then what I got to figure out is the little not porthole, but the little hole that I'm going to make in it here for the window view. And the best way I can think to kind of cut these, just so I know we're straight, is kind of like that. Okay. So essentially, these will go right here. And then we'll make our triangles. Well, yeah, they're kind of triangle trapezoids, I guess you'd say, that will go to join the two. But beforehand, I want to figure out how I'm going to cut a little hole. And I'm thinking my best course of action is going to be a blade like this. And this would not be a large hole, because this is just basically a little hole that they would view through. So essentially, just like that. Just need to get it to go all the way through. And for that, I'm going to use this knife. Okay. Almost enough. Try doing it from the back, just to get it the rest of the way through. Okay. There we go. We are poked through, and we just need to trim it up a little bit better. to make sure we got our hole. There we go. Now the sides also will have the exact same type porthole deal, so we'll end up doing them as well. And then they have a little bit of trim that goes around them. Basically a little frame around it. So I'm gonna get them cut out quick, and then we'll glue them on, and then I will cut out the side ones very similar to what I'm doing here, and I'll come back on the video after that. But I think I'll also, in the meantime, get the rest of the pieces that I didn't do last night there, and we'll be back. All right, everyone, thanks for watching, and this is basically where I'm cutting it off, heading into the next video. Like I said, I didn't really plan on cutting it here, but the footage was getting a little bit longer, and I'm trying to keep the videos to a manageable level for everybody to watch. So thank you very much for tuning in, and please make sure you give a like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.